So to begin tonight, let's find a comfortable position coming into a wide-legged child's pose. If you'd like to support your knees, if the knees come off the earth, you can make a nice, you can make your blanket wider than your mat. Really wide child's pose tonight. Bring the toes to touch. Really sit the hips back as far as you can. And then let your chest melt down to the floor, just arriving, settling. Letting go of whatever came before, whatever's waiting after. Giving the thinking mind a gentle massage. Massaging over the forehead, letting the head surrender. Resting into the sensations of the body, feeling completely supported on the earth. Feeling feet, shins, knees, arms, wrists and hands. Maybe the chest and the heart drops down to the floor. Forehead settling. Surrendering. Welcoming sensations in the body. Taking this time to come back to yourself. Pausing and asking yourself what you need as we move into the next hour of movement, the next hour of practice. How can you nurture yourself? How can you support yourself? How can you come home to yourself? Setting an intention, welcoming it as sensation in the body and mind. And then affirming and committing. Press into your hands. Gently lift the chest and walk your hands over to the right side of the mat. Walking the hands off the mat. Come into a side bend. Breathing into the whole left side of the body. Each inhale, spreading the gills of the ribs. Breathing into the left lung. Feel the left lung fill with each inhalation. Breathing into the left side of the heart. Breath just washing down the entire left side of the body. Washing away anything you're holding on to. Opening into spaciousness, openness, and potential. Take one more full breath. Sighing out, press into your hands. Reach up and over all the way to the other side. pressing the hips back towards the heels. And then reaching right hand over the left, stretching through the whole right side of the body. Breath, spreading the ribs like gills. Welcoming air into the right lung. Feel the right lung breathing. Air entering the body. Lungs expanding, ribs expanding. Welcoming spaciousness and openness. Resting in the felt sense of the body, breathing into the right lung. The mind wanders. Bring it back to the breath, using the breath as a tether to the present moment. Now is the inhale, and now is the exhale. Constantly changing, resting in what is. Now you breathe in, and now you breathe out. No need to hold on to anything, surrendering completely into the earth. Take 2 more breaths. And then pressing into your hands. When you're ready, walk the hands back in front. Press yourself up, bringing the knees together for a moment. And then just come towards child's pose. Knees together, hands by your side. Feel yourself retreat to the seed shape. Beginning again, integrating the effects of the practice. After expansion comes contraction. Move back into yourself, allowing the posture to nurture you from the inside out. And then roll up for a moment. I want to move towards Anahata Asana or puppy pose. In Yin, sometimes it's done with one arm and called quarter dog. And when we do this, we want to get our chest towards the earth so that we can get our chin to extend. So if you walk forward and your chest doesn't touch, or you're striving to get the chest down, I'd encourage you right now to take a little block, or what I was actually just thinking at the moment was to take a little blanket, because the blanket's much softer for that heart space, and either just folding it up because it's soft and you can move into it. So I'm going to take the blanket or a little block. If you have the blanket under your knees, it's a perfect adjustment. And then walk the hands forward, Let the sternum rest on the blanket so that the heart is supported, and then let the chin come towards the earth. And you can roll up that blanket as much as you need to. And when you raise the ground to meet the body, it gives it a platform, or it gives it a reference point so that it can soften a little bit more. It orients it into space. So give that heart support. When the heart is not supported, especially the front of the heart, there's a sense of vulnerability. That brings sometimes a sense of uncertainty, not knowing. And that uncertainty can give rise sometimes to anxiety. So by giving yourself this external support, it can allow us to open a little further, to know that we have something to catch us, to lean into, even as we're coming into this large opening, this vulnerable posture of heart opening. And as you enter this big heart opening posture, welcome everything. So let's cultivate the heart practices here. As you come into this posture, let's first bring in a sense of welcoming everything that arises. Nothing needs to change. Letting everything arise just as it is. And then cultivate a sense of kindness or loving kindness, metta, towards yourself. Again, no need to change, no need to strive, no pushing, just starting where you are. Loving kindness leads to compassion or karuna. Compassionate heart. I believe the root of compassion actually means from the womb. So from our center, we can reach out. And then draw a gentle smile across your lips, softening the mouth, letting the teeth and the lips part. Welcoming sensations of joy, regardless of the circumstance. Feel if you can welcome joy independent of being pulled or stretched, maybe having a slight bit of discomfort. Where can you cultivate a sense of joy in the body? And then allow that joy from that place to start to radiate outward like rays of the sun. Feeling a sense of contentment here. Coming back to that sense of equanimity, allowing and resting with everything. Take 3 more breaths, feeling your fullest expression of this melting heart pose, melting all the chains around your heart. Turning that awareness inward on yourself. Letting your heart beat for you. And then pressing into the hands, finding external support. Use the belly and pull yourself up, letting that blanket come now right into the front of pelvis. Come forward right into a seal position. Hands are out in front. Pelvis is supported. Walk one heel back, then the other. Feeling the blanket fill the front of the pelvis. Soften your buttocks as long as you don't have any SI instability. Try to relax the butt, relax the back. Let your hands and pelvis make a tripod, holding you up. And then pull the heart forward, trying to stretch the heart to the hands. Now letting your heart open outwardly. See if you can sense the inhalation rising up on the right hand from your palm, moving through the heart space, even behind the heart. Filling the space behind the heart, between the heart and spine, and then feel the exhale cascade down the left arm. Inhale rises up the left arm. Fills, surrounds the heart space, and then cascades down the left arm. There may even be a gentle sahaja, watery type movement as you feel or embody that breath. Receiving through the right, giving through the left. Welcoming that circle, that cycle of taking in what we need, letting go what we don't, allowing everything to flow through the heart. The purpose of the heart is to purify all things and yet remain unstruck. Anahata means unstruck, untouched, absolutely perfect. Taking 3 more breaths here, feeling that breath flow through the heart space, radiating forward, feeling the radiant, unstruck heart shining forward ahead of us, moving us forward. Back bends are energizing, stimulating, representative of maturing and actualization. So letting the heart lead the way in the light of the heart, moving you into your next phase, preparing you for the next step. Take 1 more breath. And then exhaling, allow yourself just to surrender all the way to the floor. The head may turn to your side. Arms could come beside you, beside the hips. And it may even feel nice to just rock the hips gently side to side, if that feels right. After the opening, after the expansion, surrendering back into total support. Back into yourself, letting go completely, feeling the resonance of the posture. Maybe there's a little bit of an increased heart rate, or warmth that flows down the arms, or tingling that radiates down the legs. Feel the resonance of that posture like ripples moving outward until you return to stillness. With the strength from this back bend, as we fed the vitality of the kidneys, our essential energy, press up to hands and knees. From hands and knees, take your left foot, step the left foot outside of the left hand, coming towards lizard. Or in yin, they call it dragon. And if it feels right, maybe you have blocks that the forearms can rest on. Or maybe you have a block that the head can rest on. Maybe you bolster up the back knee with your blanket that's right there for you. Taking any variation that feels right. Letting the back toes soften so that you're not pushing through the back leg, but the top of the foot is heavy. Making your way into stillness, noticing how it feels, and then feeling the evolutions of the pose. Maybe your front leg rotates out, foot rotates out, knee rotates out. Maybe even the right elbow comes to the floor, coming to a little more of an asymmetrical pose so that your head can hang heavy. We're not in alignment-based asana. We're in feeling-based asana. So feel into this posture of great intense stretch. Notice if you can welcome it, and how can you find 10% more support, 10% more ease, so that you can let go of doing and rest into the sensations of the body. Observing, where do you feel it most in your body? Can you send your breath there? Can you rest your awareness gently there? Leaning in and asking what that sensation is trying to tell you. And if you notice yourself striving as we're in this large step forward, return to those heart practices. Welcoming kindness, compassion, contentment. Allowing everything to be there just as it is. No need to change. What happens when you draw a soft smile across your lips? Or a smile in your heart? Feel the ripples of that internal posture, that internal disposition ripple throughout the body. Returning ease and openness. Smile radiating through the body, bringing spaciousness. Staying for 3 more breaths. Letting go of doing, melting, feeling the support beneath you, leaning into that support, just like your melting heart pose, allowing your body to feel heavy where it's supported, doing only as little as necessary. And then return back to your hands, pressing up into your hands. Take the left foot to meet the right. Pausing back in child's just for a moment. Coming back to your safe space, that seed space of support, security, comfort. Back to solid ground, resetting, renewing. And then walking your hands forward, rising towards hands and knees. Step the right foot to the outside of the right hand. Just for a moment, curl the left toes under, press back through the left heel. If that blanket felt good under the left heel, allow yourself to pad the back of the left heel, and then let the top of the foot rest to the floor. Arriving at your edge of sensation, welcoming sensation, but finding a place of sustainability. Entering slowly, feeling time and gravity allow you to sink, allowing the edge to slowly change. Maybe turning the toes out if that felt right. Coming down to an elbow if that feels good. If you need more mental grounding, if you have a motor mind, ground the forehead to support. Let the body be heavy, dropping in, leaning into all the points of support, hands or elbows, feet, shin, forehead, doing as little as possible. And if you notice any internal conflict, any striving or averting arising in that inner disposition, welcoming awareness around the heart, cultivating in the heart a sense of kindness, compassion, maybe smiling, feeling the contentment of the smile. Send ripples inside the body. Moving into those areas you need it most. Draw your awareness to points of sensation. Allowing your smile to radiate to areas of sensation. First feeling the sensation, then welcoming the sensation of smile. How can you let go of efforting? Surrender. Surrender to everything arising right now. Giving yourself internal support. Finding the right external support. Sustaining and leaning into this edge. Allowing this edge, allowing the play of the edge to cultivate change and transformation. Staying for 3 more breaths. Make yourself 10% more at ease or more joyful. Letting go of doing, being with yourself just as you are right now. Surrender fully. Waiting for that exhalation and sigh as a sign of release, as a sign of surrender, and then pushing up into your hands. Take the right knee back to meet the left, returning to your child's pose. Returning to support, sensations of security, the seed shape from which everything begins. Feeling the ripples of the posture settle, integrating its effects. Returning to the beginning. Breath settling, body settling. Mind follows where the body and breath go. Letting the minds move out of the way and allowing the body and breath to give rise to the internal wisdom. Abiding within. And then rise up towards sitting. I'm going to show you the next 2 places we're going. We're going to move towards frog posture. Today, you can go sideways on your mat. For frog, the inside of the shins and the inside of the feet are on the floor and you come really wide. The hips stay high just like that puppy posture, and your chest comes down to the earth again. You could use the blanket again if you'd like. And then right from there, so it's going to be like this. And then right from there, we're going to move towards a saddle posture, which is like a reclined hero pose. So I'm going to bring the feet together, and I'm just going to show you because I'm going to use a bolster for this. So a couple pillows might do. So it's a little different than a normal hero where the knees are together and you lean back. We're going to stay in this nice wide shape tonight where your hips inside your heels, And then I'm going to lie back onto my bolster. I just my blanket at the moment, but my bolster is right behind me. And just for showing purposes, we'll lie back, come to elbows, come to pillows, come to bolster. Something though, so that you feel that edge of sensation, but then you raise the earth up in that edge of sensation so that you can lean into that edge and feel that edge start to move. So if you need anything, grab that now. And now let's move into first frog or Bakasana by bringing the inside of the feet and the inside of the shins toward the floor. Legs really wide. And then hips are in line with the knees. So hips and knees are a straight line, 180 degrees. And then the lower legs are perpendicular to that. So my legs are in this field goal shape. Then I let my chest come down again, kind of like puppy, supporting the heart and the chest. And then forehead or chin can come to the earth. And making this posture sustainable, feeling a sensation that's most likely strong, but backing off so that you can be curious about that sensation rather than create a reaction to it. So if you find a sensation that's sustainable by moving the knees closer together or bolstering up the chest or pressing the feet and legs into the earth a little bit to give a little bit more muscular activation. If you make this sensation sustainable, you'll be able to explore it a little bit more and bring attention to it rather than try to run away from it or get rid of it. And as we move into our yin shapes, that's the goal. So if we're curious and bring attention to it and note that we're safe, that we're secure, that we have the support we need, the body will automatically, with attention, start to allow the sensation to subside. Just by bringing awareness there and being curious about it and resting in it, the body will start to dissolve. The body is meant to heal itself. And when you give it the support it needs, it will do its work. So find that sensational yet sustainable position of support, meeting yourself right where you are right now, feeling the external support of where your arms push into the earth, head resting heavy on the earth, surrendering beneath the heart, letting your body be the guide. If it feels right, return your awareness to the place around the heart. Maybe bolstering the heart again if you haven't already, as you did in puppy.
How can you surrender 10% more? Let go of thinking and ask yourself, how can I lean into the external support of the earth? How can I use the internal support of the breath? How can I reside in the heart space? Cultivating kindness, compassion, curiosity here. Welcoming everything as it arises. And when the mind wanders, bring it back to the breath. Breath tethering you to now. Feeling the breath enter the lungs. Breath carrying spaciousness and openness. Breath carrying potential. Pausing and staying for another 1 to 2 breaths. Allowing for the fullest expression of this posture. And then bring your hands under your shoulders. And then bring your towards one another. Press through the hands. And then walk yourself with your hands coming back onto your heels. If it feels right, maybe you have to just for a moment walk your knees together and allow this to integrate. As we hold these deep stretches for long periods, it puts our body in somewhat vulnerable positions. So make sure that you use the other parts to pull you out. And this non-elastic work of working these soft tissues versus working the muscles, there's that tendency to have that ache initially as you come out. So allow the body to ride the wave of that sensation. It should peak in about 90 seconds and then start to resolve unless you feed it with your mind. So notice the wave of that sensation. And then let's come to our final posture. Like I said, tonight it's a saddle pose. I'm going to put my bolster behind me, and it's going to be a real wide leg, like that wide leg child's pose. And I'm even going to take my blanket to support my head back here. And if you need a little extra lift, you can use that blanket, or even a block to ramp up your bolster like that. And then just make your way back really slowly. Stopping at points along the way. Feel, oh, there's a little speed bump. Breathe into it. Let the breath kind of wash away that bump. Maybe it's a couple breaths. Then maybe you move to your elbows. Acknowledging what's arising there. Feeling the sensations in the body. And then ultimately surrendering backwards now, opening fully. If reclining is too much, if you have like a chair or table nearby, you can place your arms on that table. So turn sideways so that it's behind you. Yeah, and let the elbows rest on that edge. Mm-hmm. Nice. Yeah. Yeah. And if it feels right, you can let the head hang backwards, open and close the jaw, getting into the whole front line of the body. We'll stay for about another 2 minutes or so. So, what do you need, knowing that you're going to be here for that period, to make this sustainable? How can you adjust your support? If you're feeling tensions rising and building, becoming irritable, you may have passed your edge. So observe that. If you're in that just right spot, that Goldilocks spot of playing your edge and being right at that just right spot, you'll find with time that sensation starts to become more broad and diffuse, and that the body starts to rest into this posture, letting go of the efforting. But if you've gone too far, there's going to be an increasing sensation that's rising and building, and there's going to be that reaction in the body that, oh, I'm not safe. So observe if that is coming and note that maybe I went too far. And then come out and begin again. The arms may stay by your sides, or reinforcing that shoulder opening we did from the very beginning. You may interlace the hands overhead, bringing hands to opposite elbows, reaching one elbow away, and then reaching the other elbow away. Breathing into the side body, sensing the breath fill the left lung. Sensing the breath fill the right lung. And then sensing the breath fill both lungs simultaneously. Massaging and uplifting the heart as the lungs expand. Feel the breath fill both lungs, creating internal massage to the heart. Welcoming sighs, open mouth hugs, feeling the seed sounds now of the heart. That home of the heart is in the hum. So as you are here, you need to cultivate a little more kindness and compassion and contentment. Sustain yourself with the ha. Feeling that ha wash over the body. Welcoming everything just as it is. Welcoming yourself just as you are, perfect and whole. Revealing yourself to yourself as you peel back the layers of the body, the breath, the mind, accessing your internal wisdom, seeing what lies beneath the layers we tell ourselves in our beliefs, our thoughts, and our stories. Using our breath just like fogging the lens to clean the lens or clean the mirror. So that we can see ourselves clearly, as complete, as whole. And then let the arms unfurl back towards the floor. Press your hands to the earth as you tuck the chin, engage the belly to push yourself up. And I'm just feeling the need to let your feet come out in front of you. Keep this bolster just behind you as it is, but just for a moment, after that great expansion, allow yourself to take one last gaze inward, eyes coming towards the navel, coming towards a seated butterfly posture. Legs don't have to be real tight. You're probably at about 90 degrees, so it's as long as it is wide. Curl the nose in towards the chest. Bring your gaze towards your navel. Take a gentle glimpse inward. Coming back to being at home with yourself. May I be at home with myself, in myself. Reconnecting to that seed type shape, that inner well-being and potential. Fold back in, feeling security, peace, and ease. And then you can stay here, or if you feel inclined to give yourself a big hug, use your hands to pull your knees to your chest. Bring your forehead towards your knees. Wrap your hands around your thighs and stay right here, hugging yourself real tight in this embrace. Or you can walk the feet forward just a little towards a little bit of a caterpillar posture, but focusing on that tuck, on that compression, on that tight embrace. Offering deep gratitude. In yoga, we say pranams. So kind of that sense of genuflecting or bowing in towards yourself in respect and gratitude for this life, for this body, and for this practice, remembering that we are already whole. And as you're ready, rolling onto your back. I'm going to keep my bolster here. And if you'd like to stay for eye rest, please feel free to make yourself as comfortably as you possibly can. And if you'd like, you can take your eye rest with the bolster behind you. And you might like to come towards a cobbler's or butterfly position. If you do stay here for eye rest, supporting under your knees, blankets, pillows, blocks. maybe covering yourself with a blanket. And everything I give is just an option. So maybe you just unfurl totally to the floor. But whatever you need in this moment to feel complete in your practice and move into Shavasana, find that exact right posture now. Letting your body be your guide. Listening to your internal teacher, the Satguru, true teacher that abides in your depths of wisdom, in your wholeness. Taking the next 2 minutes, allowing the body to be completely supported on whatever surface it's resting on. Asking yourself, how can I make myself 5 or 10% more comfortable so that I can let go of any doing, resting into ease and support.